this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Thursday, February 20th, 2020. Ooh, 2020, 022020. That just caught my attention there. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, today's card is the Ten of Wands, and that's also interesting because yesterday we had the Ten of Swords. This one comes to us from the Vanessa Tarot. I like this deck. I think it's really cute. And you know, when you look at this image, all right, first of all, today, the moon is still in Capricorn for the early part of the day, but it's void for about 6 hours before it moves on into Aquarius. So, you know, when you take a good look at this card, and it's a card that's kind of like got an overwhelming feeling to it, all right? You know, that feeling of taking on too much, but you surely do not see anyone around to help you with it, okay? You know, here's the thing. Mercury's already retrograde in Pisces. So right there you have, you know, that backlog that gets created because things tend to slow down during Mercury retrograde. And I know you got Mars in Capricorn telling you to go, go, go. But then all of a sudden, when you get hit with a void of course moon, and I've noticed that more of you are starting to pay attention to those void of course moon calendars and, you know, monitoring your days so that you don't get stuck in something like this. Because when you look at it, it's like there's just too much, kind of like that feeling of getting nowhere, all right? A void of course moon is kind of like a little mini Mercury retrograde all on its own, without throwing an actual Mercury retrograde into the mix. So, you know, as I like to call, you know, the Capricorn moon, the industrious one, where, you know, you really are wanting to work. But I got a feeling that there's this kind of like getting nowhere, not feeling as productive as, you know, you would like to be. Think about the old episode of I Love Lucy, where Lucy and Ethel are working in the chocolate factory, and the conveyor belt is going faster than they can pack the chocolates, so they start shoving them in their mouths. It's like that kind of a feeling, like, I just can't keep up. I can't do it. All right? Don't beat up on yourself if the early part of your day feels like it's too much. You have to remember one thing about energy. Energy passes and energy changes. And, you know, late afternoon when the moon moves into Aquarius and you have that sense of freedom that comes with it. It's like that burden, that oppression, that overwhelmed feeling. It will begin to lift. So you may have, you know, a few hours later in the day where you can, you know, salvage that. And we see our studious little girl there in the library or wherever with all those books. I mean, think about that. If you've got Mercury brain, as I like to call it, you know, where you're sitting there and it just, ugh, man, you know, you just can't do it sometimes. And you have to admit that to yourself and leave it be during that void period. Because the two together, Mercury and the void, are often just too much. But I do believe that you'll find that in the latter part of the day, you will be able to redeem yourself somewhat before moving on to, you know, perhaps more social activities, which the Aquarius moon will, you know, tend to bring in. So overall, not a bad day, just a day where the universe reminds you that when Mercury is retrograde, you need to lighten the load. And you may be sitting there thinking, oh, God, I'm trying to do too much here and it just isn't working. So keep all of that in mind, and that'll just be a little lesson to you to help you out. So I want to thank you all very much for being here. I'll see you here again tomorrow, and as always, have a great day.